The Fall of Tyran, adapted for radio by Lucas CPS.
First contact. That's what the astro-codices of the Adeptus Mechanicus calling the culling of Tyran. Our first contact with an alien race quite unlike any other, in their voracious hunger. If the techno-priests of Mars had their way, this codex would never again have seen the light of day. But the Black Library is old, and so are its codices. Many of them are disintegrating and corrupted. So I have been tasked with restoring these codices to their former glory. This is the story of Tyran, as I tell it. This is the birth of the Tyranids. Mankind's first recorded contact with the alien race, designated as Tyranids, happened early in the 745th year of the 41st millennium, on the eastern outskirts of the Imperium. Up to this point, mankind was wholly unaware of the new threat upon its borders, and if any of the galaxy's older empires knew of the oncoming swarm, they did not see fit to warn the upstart Imperium. The Adeptus Mechanicus base of Tyran Primus was a frontier outpost on the edge of known space, equipped specifically to deal with hostile races or pirate fleets from beyond. Nestled deep within an ancient chain of volcanic islands, 4 giant defense lasers stood guard over Tyran Primus, protected in turn by hardened ceramite silos and void shield generators, complemented by 3 dozen autocannon and las cannon emplacements, a network of defense bastions stretching into the raging seas of Tyran Primus. An entire regiment of Imperial Guard augmented the already formidable defences, as well as a fleet of Thunderbolt fighters and Endeavour-class cruisers. Such was the standard for a frontier outpost of the Imperium. Yet, against this new foe, it would prove to be woefully insufficient. The alien creatures had been feeding on the outlying planets and solar systems for nigh on a decade, stripping them of all life. A routine check for explorator craft uncovered jungle planets scoured clean of life, verdant forests reduced to a barren wasteland. All living things, even the simplest of creatures, had gone, vanished into a desiccated soil. But although this was reported, little was done. The galaxy is huge, mysteries are commonplace, and the administratum as slow to act as only a massively labyrinth bureaucracy can be. The only warning Tyran Primus was afforded was when, after cataloguing another dead world, the explorator craft accidentally stumbled upon an outlying tendril of the Hive fleet.
Almost home and dry now, sir.
Good. Keep her steady. I want to get back without spilling my caffeine.
Yes, sir, keeping her steady, sir.
Sir, we have unidentified objects on the oil specs. Shall we investigate?
No! Keep course, goddammit! A mission does not include investigating mysterious objects in the oil specs. Blasted f***ing machines are always malfunctioning. Damn useless tech. Bloody malfunction. Oi, Private, give me my caffeine.
Good gods!
The Tyranid fleet had gotten far using stealth, but no further. The survey ship, after cataloguing the devoured worlds, had just found the cause.
Quick, out the drive so we're going to smash into it.
I'm trying! We're hit! Pressure loss on all decks!
Closing cockpit bulkhead.
Aeropressurizing.
What was that?
I don't know, but the Magos back at HQ would love to hear about this.
And so the craft returned to Tyran Primus with a dire warning. And so, several days later, when the Tyranids reached Tyran Primus, they found the world ready and waiting for them. Tyran's defense lasers opened fire the moment the first alien ship made orbit. For more than an hour, the storm-racked skies of Tyran were split again and again by incandescent blasts base's gunners tried desperately to fend off the descending invaders. Then, just as the cooling systems of the defense lasers began to glow white and overheat, the invaders withdrew. Perhaps buoyed by false confidence, Magos Varnak ordered his small fleet to harry the withdrawing vessels. But when the bioships changed direction and fell on the Imperial fleet with a vengeance, there was time only to convey a warning before the cruisers were torn apart in a storm of flesh and metal.
Transmission from Imperial Cruiser Sword of Warriors commence.
Sword of Warriors to HQ. Come in, HQ.
This is HQ. Go ahead, Captain.
The Emperor's Fist has been destroyed, sir. The aliens, they tore it apart. The Righteous Destiny has suffered massive hull breaches, and I'm afraid it won't last much longer.
What are the enemy casualties?
None, sir.
What? That's impossible. Surely the orbital barrages claim some.
Only a couple of dozen
Good.
from a fleet of several thousand, sir.
Bring your men out to there, Captain. That's an order.
Yes, sir, Oh, merciful Emperor. They're inside. Prepare to repel boarders.
Captain, respond.
Don't stop. Keep firing. Emperor, preserve us. Aye.
And so the back of the Imperial fleet was broken, the cruisers now merely empty hulks in space. And when the Tyranids returned to Tyran, the laser defences could not hold them back. Thousands of alien spore pods fell into the seas of Tyran Primus, the laser defences destroying many. But they were many, and doom reigned upon Tyran Primus. Then the first invaders scaled the walls. At first, the disciplined volleys of the Imperial Guard drove the creatures back, as amongst their ranks were Catachan veterans well used to combating alien creatures. The autocannons of the Inceptor grid tore through the aliens, carapace armour providing little or no protection against the hail of lead. Waves of clawed and fanged horrors were torn apart, their ichor-soaked corpses choking the killing zones between the bastions. Thunderbolt fighters jigged expertly through the pouring rain, the lightning-lashed skies offering no protection to the spores falling by the thousands. Then, the northern laser defence fell silent, thousands of winged horrors mindlessly throwing themselves into its throat, clogging the massive beam projectors with their incinerated corpses. Moments later, the eastern laser complex ceased firing as a monstrous tower of cruelly spiked armour and muscle trampled the defenders and demolished the coolant lines. One by one, the Thunderbolt fighters fell smoking from the skies as their engines became choked with poison spores, or the hordes of shrieking horrors tore the pilots from their cockpits. As more of the defence network was silenced, the spores began to fall onto the base itself. The Tyran outpost was as good as destroyed, alien creatures running rampant within the walls, the few surviving squads of guardsmen dying one after the other. The lights of the Vox emitters given to each squad winked from existence as the most stalwart of men abandoned their posts and ran into the driving rain in search of an escape that did not exist. The last secure bunker of Tyran held out against the swarm, but only barely when the walls cracked under the weight of massive blows. As the last defenders of Tyran Primus prepared to sell their lives dearly, Magos Varnak whispered a prayer to the Emperor and pressed a switch, sending a codex of all that transpired deep into the earth. And that would have been the end of it, had not one Inquisitor Cryptman investigating the sudden silence of the Tyran Primus base found a sterile wasteland, hardly recognisable from the thriving ocean planet it had once been. As Cryptman reviewed the data codex, the full horror of Tyran's fall was revealed. Wasting not another moment, the Inquisitor set forth to warn the galaxy of the oncoming horror from beyond the stars, a horror Cryptman named Tyranids for the world they had consumed. And so ends this codex, the terror of the Tyranids revealed to the galaxy. But there was one last item recovered from Tyran itself, the last words of Magos Varnak. Message plays.
We cannot live through this. Mankind cannot live through this. In a single day, they've covered this planet in a flood of living blades and needle-fang mouths. Can 1 and 10 take its place? If they're truly that number, then our race is doomed to a violent death, but every shred of our civilization is scoured away by a force more voracious than the fires of hell themselves. Death, death, by the machine god. Death is here!